In this video, we'll learn about Android private and shared preferences. Preferences actually, as you know, is basically used to store simple data. This data is not encrypted and it can be deleted by a user. Let's get started by writing a simple application for storing private and shared preferences, and then we are going to understand the concepts of preference activity. In order to get started with preference, we are going to make use of a class known as shared preferences. We are going to make use of a method known as edit, using which we are going to edit the preferences. We are going to make use of a method known as commit, using which we are going to confirm that these preferences should be stored in a file within your mobile application. Later, we are going to get the shared preferences. We are going to execute the method get shared preferences, and we will provide the name of the preference which we want to get. Then after getting the shared preferences, we are going to execute methods like getString and getBoolean. And finally, we are going to create a preference activity, which is going to create a preference kind of an activity for you. You can automatically set your preferences using it, and then you can view the preferences set within your application. Let's get started. We're going to create a new Android application. Let's start a new Android application project, and I'm going to call this as Demo87, and I'm going to change the package to Demo87. We're going to click on next. We're going to create this application minimum for Froyo. I'm going to create a blank activity. We'll click next, click finish, and a new Android application project will get started. First, we are going to understand private and shared preferences. As far as private and shared preferences are concerned, you can simply create private and shared preferences within your activity. So what exactly we like to do, we like to create an activity, and using that activity we are going to set the preferences here. So let me go to the content file, and I would like to say we'll go to the design view. Here in the design view, let's say I want to view, let's create the size, change the text to preferences, let me just preferences demo, and within this preference demo, what exactly we like to do is we like to create an edit text box here. Using this edit text box, we are going to enter a username. Let's go to Android hint property, and we are going to change the hint to enter username. We are going to clean the name value, and enter username will be entered here. As soon as we enter a username here, we are going to create another button here who's going to save the preference for us. And let's say I'm going to save the username in my application. I'm going to set this button somewhere relative to my edit text control, and here at the bottom we are going to display the last saved username here. We're going to change it and last stored username. We're going to display that here, and we're going to display the name in another large text view just below this, and this will be the result. Let me call it as username. So here I'm going to get the username. So this is my edit text. I'm going to take in the username information. I'm going to save the username information, and finally, once I'm going to close the application, I'm going to restart my application. Once I will restart, I'm going to get the last saved username in my username text view. To get started with this, let's check the IDs. This is edit text, this is button control, and this is my text view 3 control. So I'll switch to my Java activity, and I'm going to refer these few controls. First of all, I would like to refer the button control. Then I would like to refer edit text control, and finally I would like to create my text view control. I'm going to refer the required classes in my application. We'll import these classes. Just after set support action bar, we are going to refer these controls into our variables. So TV1 will be text view. We're going to find the view by ID and we're going to call it as r.id.textview3. Then we are going to make use of the button control. We are going to refer button. We are going to find view by ID. We are going to type in r.id.button control. And finally, we are going to create an edit text control. We are going to typecast edit text control. We are going to find view control by its ID and we'll specify the ID as r.id.editText. Now we are going to add an event handler on our button control. I'm going to add a click listener on this. I'm going to make my main activity implement Android onClick listener, and we are going to override onClick method as well. Within this method, we are going to remember the last username, and we are going to get that from et1.getText.toString, and I'm going to store this information within the shared preferences. So I'm going to create a shared preferences, and I'm going to call this prefs is equal to new shared preferences. Instead of new shared preferences, prefs dot editor. We are going to add the editor first. I am going to create the preference name like this here. I am going to create the preference name as user pref, and I am going to add the mode as mode underscore private. So I am going to create a private preference at the moment. Okay. So I am going to create an editor. Editor is equal to prefs dot edit. Within editor dot put string, we are going to put a string username here, and I'm going to put in the value as user. I'm going to ask my editor to commit, and we're done. So this is how I'm going to create a user preferences, in which I'm going to create a private preference so that none other application can use my shared preferences. Then I'm going to make use of editor class. I've created the editor object and I have edited the user preferences using the edit function. Then using the editor, I'm going to put a string with a key username, and the value will be contained within this user variable, and this value I'm fetching from edit text 1. And finally I'm going to commit and confirm that the value stored in the user variable will be stored as a value for the key username. Now once we are done, as soon as my application runs again, I would like to check the preferences. So I'm going to get the shared preferences. mpref is equal to get shared preferences. I'm going to get the shared preference user pref, and the mode will be private. Now as soon as I got the preferences, now I'm going to get the string username from mpref.getString. I'm going to specify my key username, and in case if nothing is returned, I'm going to display something like not set. And I'm going to display that on tv1.setText, and we're going to display the username information here. Fine. Let's test the private shared preferences. We'll click on play. I'm going to connect my device again. Click on OK. the Gradle build is running at the moment. So as soon as the Gradle is done building the application, we are going to test the shared preferences on our application. So the device was offline at the moment. Now I guess I need to connect that again. So now the device is live. Let's click on OK. The application is running. I just connect my mobile device. We're going to display the application within my Android BNC viewer. This time you can see that last stored username is not set at the moment. So I'm going to set another username at the moment, and let's say I'm going to call in, I'm going to enter a value Devanshu. I have clicked on save. Since I have not specified any toast here at the moment, but the execution has been done. So what I will do is, let's say I'll get back outside the application. I'm going to open the application and I'm going to test this demo 87. As soon as I click now, and this time you can see that the last stored preference is Devanshu. So this is clear that shared preferences are stored within your mobile application, and the actual location of storing this shared preferences is within the console. I would like to show you that using the ADB shell properties. I'll go to the command prompt, ABCDE, and we'll go to CD, and actually it is stored here. CD users Devanshu Android app data local Android SDK platform tools, and using this I'm going to run my ADB program. Okay, again we had to add that. So in that case what I'll do is I'll just connect that with the shell again, and here inside the shell you can see that I'll just get back to the terminal emulator for a minute, and I'm going to listen for the connection again, NC-LVP6789, and from here I'm going to execute NC192.168.0.104.16789, and I'm going to execute /system/bin/shell. So we are going to send a reverse connection from the mobile device to our computer. As soon as I get the connection, I'm going to do a list command here. From the list here, I'm going to go to the data directory. Again, I'll go to the data directory. I'm going to search using ls command. I'm going to grep my demo's name so that I'll get the unique application packages which has demo in it. So I have the following applications available. I'm going to go to the package name demo 87, and using this demo 87 I'm going to enter the directory. I'm going to do lists, and now you can see that this application has shared preferences in it. Now what you can do is you can go into the shared underscore prefs, and if you do ls you can see that you have a user pref.xml, and if the cat command works, cat user pref.xml echo user pref.xml, or sometimes what I can do is I can simply get that file or transfer that file to my computer, and we can see that in XML format here. So for this I'm going to run another program. I'll go to the demo directory here, and within this I'm going to listen for another connection on port number 6788, and I'm going to store your user pref.xml in order to show you how data is stored in shared preferences. Now from here I'm going to transfer 168.0.104 on port number 6788, and I'm going to transfer user pref.xml. So as soon as I receive a connection here, I'll do that again. Six, 7, 8, 8. Let me just do ls command. Okay. Let me just quickly connect that back again. NC-LVP 6789, and I'm going to get the connection again from here. NC 192.168.0.104 on 6789. I'm going to execute /system/bin/sh, and I'll get the connection. So as soon as I got the connection, I'll go to the directory data/demo87 within shared_prefs. I have user.xml. Now using netcat command, I'm going to wait for 3 seconds. I'm going to connect to 0.104 on the port number 6788, and let me just check whether I'm listening for 6788. Yes, I'm listening on 6788 for the file user pref.xml, and from here I'm going to transfer user pref.xml. I'll press enter. Now I'm going to receive that file here, and since I've got that file now, so you can see that I've got a user pref.xml of 112 bytes. I'll go to the directory and will show you how it looks like. Within the demo directory, I have the user pref.xml, which I'm going to open that with a notepad file, and you can see that with the key username, a value known as Devanshu is stored within your map, within your shared preferences. So now I guess you understand how shared preferences are stored within your application. Let's continue for a quick next demo for storing the shared preferences using a preference activity. What you can do with a preference activity, let me just guide you that here. Now within the same application, if we go to another project, what you can do is you can create another preferences, and within your resource I'm going to create a new directory, and this directory will be known as XML directory. Within this directory I'm going to create a new preference screen, and I'm going to call it as XML resource file. I'm going to call it as preferences. As soon as I click OK, you can see that I've got a preference screen here, and at the moment if I show you the preference screen, it looks like null on the right hand side. I'm going to add in a few references here. The first reference I'm going to add is an edit text preference, and here on the right hand side you'll get the edit text preference. For this edit text preference, I have to add in a few information, like first of all I'm going to add the title for this preference. The title for this preference will be something like username, or let me call it as default username. I'm going to resync that. So now you can see that on the preferences screen on the right hand side you have got a username. Then I'm going to provide a key value to the preference here. I'm also going to call this key as username, because now I'm going to create another shared preferences who's going to store username preferences using my preference activity. And the third thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a summary information so that my user understands how data is stored here. So I'm going to specify enter default username here, or you can call it as enter default username. So one preferences are ready. I'll show you another example of another preference. This type of activities you can easily find within your settings of applications. So another I'm going to display you, and that will be like a checkbox preference. I hope you all have seen checkbox preferences in your settings. Now here one example of preference is, let me just show you. I hope everybody has connected to wireless networks a lot of times. If I show you a simple example of settings here before writing any further, you can go to settings, and let's say I can go to date and time settings, or I can go to any of the settings here on my mobile device. Let's say I would like to go to the wireless settings. So here you can see that you have this Bluetooth turn on and turn off option. So this is the preference, whether the Bluetooth is turned on or the Bluetooth is turned off. You can see that you are connected to Wi-Fi or airplane mode. All these things are considered under a shared preference. So now I'm creating a checkbox preference for you. For this, I'm going to create a title, and this title will say network mode, and I'm going to provide it a key, and let's call it as network, and the third information will be the summary, and the summary information will say set network preferences. So you have got two preferences now. One is your default preference, another is your network mode. So we can simply save on this. Now we need to create an activity for this layout. To do that, I'm going to switch to my Java package. Within my Java package, I'm going to create a new class, and I'm going to call this class as my preferences. My preference. I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to extend preference activity within this. I'm going to create an onCreate method according to activity life cycle. We have to create the activity using onCreate method, and then we can add preferences from resource, and we can provide the name of the XML file wherein we created the preferences. Here you can see that it is depreciated, but you can simply use this preferences. So we can simply save it, and the preferences are done. Now I have to register this preference activity in my manifest file. To do that, I'll go to the activity. Within application, I'm going to register another activity, and I'm going to add my preference here. And you can see that preference has been added. Now, this time I would like to add preferences using another way. Last time I was saving the preferences with save option. This time I'm going to open my preferences using another button, and I'm going to call it as settings. Let me call this button as settings. This is button 2. I'm going to refer that. As soon as I click on the settings, I will go to my preference activity, and I'm going to store whatever values I am storing. It will be stored within my another text views, that is my medium text, and I'm going to add one more text view just below this. So here we'll have two text view. One is text view 4, another is text view 5, and we have a button 2 as well. So as soon as I click on settings, my preference activity will open. What all preferences I will set, they will be displayed to me in medium text. So let me just save it. Now what I would like to do, I'll go to my main activity.java. I'm going to add in a few more controls, and this will be my button 2, and I would like to add two more text views. One will be TV2 and TV3. I'm going to save this. I'm going to refer the controls. I'm going to add another button control. This will be my button 2, BT2, and I'm going to add 2 text views here. So one will be my text view 5, second will be my text view 4, and I'm going to call it as TV2 and TV3. So the references are done. On my button control, I'm going to set an on-click listener, bt2.set on-click listener, and I'm going to write an on-click listener method over here. And within this on-click method, now what I would like to do, as soon as somebody clicks on this, I'm going to create a new intent, and this will open my preference, pref activity, pref act, and I'm going to create a new intent. We are going to move from the get application context, or you can simply refer with this keyword, and you have to go to my preference class. So using this, you will be redirected to your preference activity, and I have to specify, instead of this, I'll specify something like get application context, and I have to start my activity. So I'm going to start my activity, prefact preferences activity, and as soon as the activity gets launched, I'm going to store my preferences. The stored preferences I will get these stored preferences with the key and value, and I'm going to store that here. So I'm going to refer my shared preferences. I'm going to call this as apref, and you can get default shared preferences. So we are going to get the aprefs, and you can get that with a preference manager dot get default shared preferences, and within this you have to specify a few information like the context from where you would like to get the preferences, and this will refer to the directory where your current preferences are stored, and this will refer to your package name. So we'll get the apref, and from this apref we are going to get the string information, and we are going to provide the key username which I have specified in my preference screen for my edit text preference, and if nothing is available, I'm going to display not set, and I'm going to store that in my string uname. Another, I'm going to get my network information, net mode, and I'm going to get apref. I'm going to get boolean for this, and I'm going to specify network, and by default it will be false, and I'm going to store that net mode in boolean form. So now once I have got this information, now what am I going to do? I'm going to set the information within my tv2.setText, and I'm going to set uname, which I'm going to set from my preference, and tv3 I'm going to set the boolean information, and that will be, let's say, network mode is, and I'm going to say net mode dot toString, and that value will be displayed to you here. So now we are done with the preferences. Let's run the application. I'm going to test the application within my device. So this time we are testing preference activity. So as soon as the application runs, we are going to test the preference activity. So now here I have a few things like not set and network mode is nothing at the moment. So now what I'll do is, let's say I'm going to click on settings. As soon as I click on settings, you can see that I get that network preferences. If I click on default username As soon as I click on default username, you can see that I get a default username text box. I would like to say that last username is Salman. I'm going to click on OK, and let's say I'm going to set the network mode as true. If I go back, if I start my activity again, and you can see that we'll have the preferences. If I go to demo 87, now you can see that Salman preferences is stored within your settings information. Now what things you can do is, you can create a beautiful user interface and you can integrate this preferences activity in your application. Thank you for watching this video.